Hey everybody, it's Rick OShay playing Marvel Puzzle Quest. Thanks for jumping on. Once again, this is a big one. We've got Spider-Man versus Sinister 6. It is the Alliance-based event. We're going to take on the boss level versions of these 6 enemies, 3 on each side. We'll talk about what that means as we jump into it. We'll take them on with 4-star teams. Then we'll do a side node, and then we'll get into a second battle of the bosses, and we'll probably use mixed teams of 5 stars. We'll talk about the little bit of strategy you could use against specific lineups of these boss levels. I say that because they have different versions of their powers as they are bosses instead of normal boosted characters. So let's jump right into it. We'll start on the it's the Sandman side of things, but if you read the text below, it says the order you're going to face the enemy. So it's Vulture, Green Goblin, and then Sandman. So let's jump into this battle with this 4-star character team. And since it's Spider-Man versus the Sinister 6, we're going to use him right away. We'll use the 4-star version, and then we'll also get in 5-star Peter Parker in a later battle. This is a fun team. It's not a perfect team, but they are all boosted characters. So we'll use Iron Spidey. We'll use X-Force Wolverine, who's almost always boosted in a lot of the boss events, and then the 4-star Black Widow. See if we can make good use of one of her abilities, if not 2. Let's jump into it. So right away, we're facing the version of Vulture that can be pretty tough. Like usual, he is very dangerous if he gets a bunch of black. But besides that, his other 2 abilities are a little bit different. I'm not going to explain every detail of how it's different, but his black has a different passive where it can deal a bunch of damage, and then similar green to his normal state, but it is also a direct damage potential, and then hybrid tech slicer is his blue ability. What we want to do here is focus on pretty much straight up damage, and one of the 2 ways we'll probably do that is either X-Force Wolverine's black is a big hitter, or we have Spidey's red is a big hitter. We had a couple different ways to do match 4s. That one gives us more AP, I think, on the opening move. So we have green available to play. We'll decide which one we want to do in a little bit. We could go with X-Force Wolverine's green, which destroys a bunch of areas of the board with different X-shaped tile destruction, or we can use Infinity War Spider-Man's green to put a lot more web tiles on the board. I don't think we're going to need to use his green because we're going to get webs every time we make a match with his icon on the board, and as you can see, we are covering the board already. Let's go for more black. I do want to try to target yellow. Vulture's not going to prioritize yellow against us, so let's take this time here to gather colors up for once we get past him. We'll have what we need for the later bosses. Okay, so he's got 6 in blue. That's starting to be a little bit dangerous. We can also, nothing wrong with gathering a little bit of purple, but let's get this red. The more red, the better. And very well. All right, so he lined us up with another yellow. Let's do it maybe this way. And now check this out. This is cool. So what we'll do is play Brush Pass, and while it creates a yellow countdown, and while it's on the board, all of our abilities are decreased in cost, and the character we play the Brush Pass on earns some health back. I don't think anybody really needs it now, but let's go ahead and play it on Wolvie for the time being, since he's not going to play his own yellow for healing. And now this is great because X-Force is only at a cost of 5, and then we could play Proportional Punch at just a cost of 7. That is a complete overkill knockout. Let's go ahead and play X-Force, see what we get. Hopefully he won't destroy that countdown, but it is random. Boy, that was close to getting it, actually. Cool, that worked quite well on Vulture. We're about to get him in a couple more matches here. Ran really well against him, and now we have to think about Goblin. So what I might do against Goblin, we're in a really good shape, but here's one really specific thing you need to know. He brought in a couple of henchmen, and you can work them out. He actually takes damage when you knock them out. But this boss is a little bit different because you can just cycle him back to the front and deal damage to Goblin when you want to. So there's other boss events where the 5-star boss level version of Iron Man, you can't hit him for enough damage. You have to take out his drones first, but that's not the case here. And what I want to do is just hit him with them. Get a black match first. Great that we got an additional match there. We have our black ready to play for X-Force Wolverine, and this is perfect. Check it out. We have a lot of web tiles on the board. We're going to add to that. We'll go ahead and play Thwip. And what I like to do is ask you guys to add up what this damage would be. I'm not going to do it here, but what you get from Proportional Punch while Iron Spider is boosted is 5,165 damage for every blue, green, and red web tile, which are his 3 colors. And then you get about half of that damage for each web tile on a web tile in his non-3 colors. It's going to be a whole lot of damage. It's overkill, but we can take out Goblin right here with a real nice Proportional Punch. And then his henchmen just fall to the wayside. I think that's the way to play that. And so check this out. We are up against Sandman now, who, don't forget, he has a passive where he decreases the damage incoming. And we could hit him. I think what we want to do is hit him with Surgical Strike, but it destroys the enemy's strongest color. It's yellow. There's very few yellows on the board. So because of that, I think what we should do, let's go ahead and just play some abilities for fun. And he places yellow on the board at the beginning of each turn. So we'll let him add yellow to the board. As long as he doesn't match too much of it away. And here's a good spot. Now there are a ton of yellow tiles on the board. X-Force Wolverine's Surgical Strike gets damage for each tile that is destroyed. And there are yellows all over the board. He's got 24,300 health with damage reduction on incoming hits. We still get the win. That's a very good boss damage team, I think, and nice to get a few benefits from each character as we went through it. All right, not bad. We'll play a side node, and then we'll take on that same set of 3 bosses with a 5-star team, which will make it a little more quickly, I suppose. Let's go to, I always like to grab the Ronin Hawkeye. Don't get a chance to play him very often, just for now. And then let's just grab some characters that will get through this side node and get back to the bosses. I do like Thor, Gladiator Thor, and then with main event Hulk by his side is a great pair together. Quite often main event Hulk's automatic tile swapping can get you some matches in colors that weren't readily available otherwise. Not always. Sometimes he moves a match away from you. And now we're going to get attack tiles every time we match red. That's fine since we're already going for red matches. We'll work on Yelena here first. She's got the weakest health. We'll take her out with mostly match damage and attack tiles, and then we'll hit the other guys with abilities. Oh wow, look at that. Unbelievable. Alright, so we have a match 4 in red, which is also going to include a critical tile. Check out this damage on Hood. 19,500 plus. Wow. Getting some good tile swaps, gaining some great AP, 24,000 twice in a row. And a no escape for a near perfect victory there. Not too much to talk about, but just a lot of fun. And now let's go back over to the boss battle and take them on with a 5-star team for fun. I don't think we need to use Thor here. Let's go and bring in maybe Iron Man in this case. Let's grab. Oh wait, I was gonna keep the 5-star Hawkeye. That's right. We'll bring in Old Man Logan Wolverine. That means we have a yellow, black, red, blue, and we don't really have a purple, green. Maybe we'll settle for, you know what? Let's just go with some chaos. I think that'll be kind of fun. See if we can win this way. In this setup, I think what we want to do is go for red and blue for Hawkeye. Get him rolling with his countdowns all the while. Oh, look at that drop. What a lucky run, thanks to the viewer luck on that one for sure. Okay, so we also want to just get enough green for Banner to transform into the Hulk, causing a lot more damage every single turn while he is in Hulk form. But the main thing with Old Man Logan is you just want to have 12 yellow AP on hand before you play his black, if you can. Much better if you do. 5-star match damage is really good. We're working Vulture down quickly here. Still only 2 green, but we'll take a match 4, and that'll be enough to have Banner place his countdown on the board. The other guy transforms him. We'll knock Vulture out right here. Let's see. What do we want to do? Probably line up a red match. I forgot green isn't a strong color until we are in Hulk form, so now we'll get Vulture out. Okay, so same thing here against Goblin. He sent the others in front, but we're going to put him back up front. We are now in Hulk form. Let's go ahead and play a deep breath. That'll place a fortified blue countdown tile. Every time we play an ability now, we'll get strike tiles from Old Man Logan for free. Man, I set them up with a good match there. It's very unfortunate we don't get the AP from Hulk's matches that he makes for us automatically. I really wish they would have fixed him on their way to working on the new Immortal Hulk that they came out with, who is really quite great. Okay, so now we have enough, we actually have enough green to play Smash, and I think we'll do it. A lot of times I save green in case Hulk needs to take a big hit. We can transform back, but we'll play Smash here. It's team damage. It's enough to take Goblin and friends out anyway. And now we are back against Sandman, and not to worry when he adds yellow to the board, because we have enough yellow to transform already. Let's go ahead and play Living Legend. Strike tiles on black. Could have waited till there were more black tiles on the board in the first place, but look at this damage we're going to get every turn with those tons of strike tiles. And with all this yellow, we can play Old Habits. Our abilities for Old Man Logan have transformed, and now we have an active yellow instead of passive. It's a team damage ability, but we'll take it. And I would like to get some blue here so that we can start building up AP for red for OML. You don't get to play his active red until he's transformed. We get the victory before it's even time. Not bad. Still an effective team. And with all those points, we already make it to the end. what a fun event, and it's really actually one you can beat quickly since there's 2 different sides of boss points instead of 1 set of boss points per battle time frame. So thankfully for that, because I ran way behind, there's only about less than 2 hours in the entire event. So I'm recording this late. Hopefully you guys had a lot of fun. Let's take on the other set of bosses. Maybe I think what we're going to do is just take on this 1 set of bosses instead of doing it twice. And we'll try to get a really fun team in here. So we've got this version of Hulk. I really want to get the main event back in and kind of focus on his abilities. Wait a second. Yeah, I was thinking, you know what we need to do? We played him already. We're going to need to take in Totally Awesome Hulk. And the reason for that is he just went through a revamp and he actually got buffed. And I didn't mind him the way he was. His green does more damage. His passive blue does more damage and has a quicker countdown to resolve. And he's going to be very, very important in one of the boss battles. Okay, we'll use him. That sounds fine. So we'll play a mixed team. I want to also bring Black Widow. Her purple might be handy in this case. And you know what? Let's see. Do we want to bring in Parker here? I think we do. Let's make it happen. See if we can win against this set of bosses. Now these guys can be really tough as well. How unbelievably fortunate we're starting out with an extra move in green. The critical tile is going to stop right there and also hit those black tiles for a huge hit. We'll start with that. Oh man, and this team ups. Look at this. He is already down to 5,700. Okay, red and white. Catching up with a little bit of luck against us as well. Okay, so now see, the math of it is the automatic countdown that Totally Awesome Hulk creates. Every 2 turns, this thing will deal a bunch of damage automatically, and it's a ton, and it adds green tiles to the board where you can get some free matches. So let's see, maybe we don't want to take green. I kind of want to leave it on the board. Carnage has a tendency to go for green matches. We'll see if he goes for that or not. Okay. That'll hurt. If you don't get Carnage taken out quickly, he will really get into some cascades and continuous moves against you. But 5-star match damage will take him out. And here's the tough one. This is probably the hardest boss of the full Sinister 6. He doesn't make moves against you, but the nuclear reactor is basically a 20 countdown timer that if you don't get that removed, matched away, or destroyed, he just wins. It's over. And I did lose against it trying to be clever on my own before, and it didn't work. And he can't take any damage at all until you work that nuclear reactor countdown off the board. So you either have to have a match 4 that destroys the line or column that it's in to destroy this fortification basically, or do it the hard way. And the hard way is to remove each one of the tentacle tiles with normal matches or destruction again. So we'll try a little bit to match some of the tentacle tiles away. Each one has a cool effect that a detrimental effect that can be kind of challenging. Let's see, I'm just trying to see how things will lay out. Line up those blues. Man, we got lucky with the tentacle tiles, I think. We sure did. Even with that drop, we can match those away. So, how are we going to get that last tentacle tile? If we can get it, great. I'm going to leave that match 4 in green alone because I'm going to try to see if we get a tile to drop that would be able to match that tentacle. Nothing there. Okay, now I'll do this since we also get purple. And more purple for a second. Oh man, we are running good with green. We have well over 30 green if you could hold more than 30. But here's what I want to do. With the Mastermind Excello ability, you get to choose an area of the board to destroy. So while this countdown is becoming a dangerously lower number every turn, you can play that if you have enough green and destroy the fortification on it. In fact, I wonder if it also takes Doc Ock out if you do it in one shot. But what I want to do here first is play Tell Me Everything from 5-star Black Widow, because she removes enemy special tiles. Does it include the nuclear reactor? Nope. Okay. Indirectly, but how lucky was that? She did remove the final tentacle tile that we were having trouble with her purple, and in doing so, that removed the fortification on that nuclear reactor, which turns green and made an automatic match. We couldn't have been much luckier. It's just unbelievable. So what I want to do is just go ahead, while Doc Ock is stunned for 5 turns, let's take him out. For fun, we'll play Hot Dog Stand. It's just one of the funniest, craziest animations in the game, and we'll just destroy some area of the board for fun to take him out. So Doc Ock can be the toughest because handling that nuclear reactor tile is quite challenging sometimes. But now we have Venom, and this boss version of Venom creates invisibility tiles every turn. So if you don't take him out right away, pretty much every turn, if you don't take him out right away, he places the invisibility tiles. Then, when there are enough invisibility tiles, he basically leaps out of the shadows and will, remove them, set up these countdowns, and the countdowns place a ton of, well, we're not going to get that far. I think what we're going to do here is go ahead and win with 5-star Peter Parker Spider-Man. We have, just a couple of web tiles on the board. Let's play his blue, which puts more webs on the board, and when those are out there, you get a great effect out of Arachnid Agility. It does a good amount of damage up front, but then it also deals additional hits of that same damage for up to 6 total hits, counting the web tiles. This is a lot of fun and will be the win. And it's good to play abilities, or bring a character that can play an ability that can hit invisible enemies, which is often abilities that do either team damage or random enemy damage, and that can sometimes still hit invisible enemies. So that is going to do it. I know it was pretty short and sweet, but I hope you guys had a great run through Spider-Man versus the Sinister Six. It's a fun event, cool bosses, and interesting enemy strategies going in to those battles. Let me know how your alliance did, and if you got through all of those, all of that progression for the tokens. We're gonna do a token video next, and I just wanted to show you that I'm saving up some of the areas for when Polaris enters the token availability soon. We've got the second token for the 2020 Vision store, including the brand new 5-star Heimdall, and we will be doing these 2 draws, and I'm gonna consider taking how many draws it takes to land on one Heimdall, and we could get Jessica Jones and definitely Hawkeye along the way. That's it, guys. Please continue if there's a video presented down below. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Appreciate the support. See you in the next one.